Good morning, a blessed and a happy and a joyful Friday on to you. The weekend is starting tomorrow. It's time to rest and relax. I wish you a wonderful day, and tomorrow is Independence for Barbados. So happy independence to those persons who are in Barbados or of Barbados. And to everyone else, have yourself a beautiful day. Now, we talked about trusting God, not being anxious at all, praising God in faith and worshiping Him, which means we're going to continue to do the work even though things may not go in how we want it to go. Continue to do the work that God has instructed you to do. Do not come down. Do not stop like Nehemiah. Don't stop no matter what. Continue to do the work, knowing that God is with you and He will come through. And that is worship. That's the worship that God is looking for, in spirit and in truth, true worship. If you're going to stop doing the work because things aren't going your way and people aren't treating you well, then that is not truth. If you're truly, genuinely doing something, nothing will stop you from doing it at all. I have another little testimony I want to share with you very quickly. There was a time, a friend of mine in my life, and helping her do stuff and so on and so forth. And sometimes she would not be so nice at all, push me away. That's just how it is. That's how the enemy uses people to push away those who are trying to help them. And one day she was very, very mean to me. And the next day I was supposed to do something for her. I showed up and she was very shocked that I showed up. I showed up and I said to her, I will wear you out. That's what I said. And what I meant is that the God in me is greater than the God in the world who's influencing her to be mean to me. I was assigned to help her. And thank God, eventually she came to salvation. So we cannot stop doing the work that God has called us to do. Now we're going to talk about a scripture in Proverbs 18, verse 10. And this is what it tells us. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. When you're feeling unsafe as you're doing the work of God, whatever may be happening, run to God. All of what we said this week, trust Him, don't be anxious, but pray instead, praise, worship. That is running to God. Now, really and truly, we are supposed to be in God, dwelling in Him, in His core. But honestly, at times when things happen, we find ourselves drifting away. It's not that you're not in God, but you find yourself drifting. Like when I didn't do the socks, you find yourself drifting now. And when God brings that conviction, and He will, and you hear that voice, run into Him. Verse 9 tells us this. He who is slothful in his work is a brother to him who is a great destroyer. We know who is the great destroyer, and that's what I'm saying. The enemy's agenda is to do his work to stop us from doing our work. And if we are in cahoots with him, if we're associated with him, and we are slothful in doing that work, we are now a brother of the great destroyer. We're contributing to destruction as opposed to the good work that God has called us to do. So we run to God when you realize that you're drifting away, that you're not doing the work. When God brings that conviction, run into Him. He is a strong tower, and we can run into Him and be safe because He is there. And I want you to recognize that it can happen. You're going along, you're doing the work, something would happen. You may become a little weary, you may become a little tired. Let us be realistic about it, and let us recognize that God is there. He is a strong tower, and we can run to Him. We can return to Him. The important thing is that we are found doing His work and fulfilling His purpose, just like Jesus did when He walked on the earth. Have yourself a wonderful and a safe and enjoyable weekend.